Have you ever stopped to consider the life of a donkey in South Asia? In the bustling streets of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, donkeys are a common sight. They trudge along the narrow alleyways, carrying loads that seem too heavy for their slight frames. We often picture them as simple creatures, obediently following orders, their lives seemingly uncomplicated. Yet this is far from the truth. Donkeys bear an unfair burden, both literally and figuratively. They are often seen as unintelligent animals, earning the derogatory label of duffer. But why do we hold this perception? A donkey's life is far from easy. They toil from dawn till dusk, carrying weights that would make a grown man buckle. They navigate treacherous paths with a stoic resilience that's often overlooked. The reality is that donkeys are not stupid. On the contrary, they are extraordinarily intelligent and adaptable creatures. They can recognize areas they've been to and remember routes they've taken even after years. They understand human emotions and respond to them, forming deep bonds with their handlers. Yet, in the hustle and bustle of South Asian cities, these remarkable traits are often ignored. Instead, donkeys are treated like machines, their physical and emotional needs neglected. They are overloaded, overworked, and underappreciated. It's a harsh reality that's hidden in plain sight, a testament to our ability to turn a blind eye to the suffering of creatures we deem lesser than us. What's worse is that this treatment isn't just harmful to the donkeys, it also affects the people who depend on them. When a donkey is overworked and falls sick, it's the handler who suffers. They lose their livelihood, their means of providing for their families. It's a cycle of suffering that's perpetuated by ignorance and indifference. So why is it that we often overlook the plight of these hardworking creatures? It's a question that begs for an answer, a reality that's begging for change. And it starts with understanding, with empathy, with acknowledging the unseen reality of a donkey's life. Imagine waking up each day to relentless labor, carrying burdens far beyond your capacity. As the first light of dawn breaks, our donkey, a humble creature, stirs to life. Its day begins with the first rays of light, and with it, the anticipation of a grueling day ahead. The morning is greeted not with a relaxed breakfast, but with the immediate task of hauling heavy goods. The cargo varies from day to day: stacks of bricks, sacks of grain, sometimes even piled up furniture. The weight is often more than the donkey should bear, yet it is forced to carry these loads across long distances. There's no time for rest or respite as the streets buzz with activity, and the donkey is thrust into the heart of it all. The midday sun beats down harshly, but there's no shade for our donkey. Its work continues unabated in the sweltering heat. The sweat glistens on its coat, but there's no opportunity for a cooling drink or a moment's break. The donkey's lunch, if any, is hurried and sparse, typically consisting of leftovers or low-quality fodder. As afternoon turns into evening, the donkey's pace slows. Its steps become more laborious, but the work doesn't stop. The loads it carries seem to grow heavier with each passing hour. It's a continuous cycle of labor, with no consideration for the donkey's well-being or capacity. Even as the day draws to a close, there's little relief. The donkey is often left to find its own shelter, often in the same dusty streets where it labors all day. There's no relief, no gentle brushing down, no caring hands to soothe its aching muscles. Its dinner, much like its lunch, is whatever it can scrounge from the streets or is given as an afterthought. And as the sun sets, our donkey finds little respite, for tomorrow brings more of the same. A day in the life of a donkey in South Asia is a testament to their resilience, but it's also a stark reminder of the harsh conditions they endure. This isn't a life any creature should lead, and it's high time we acknowledge their plight. But there's more to these animals than meets the eye. Donkeys are often misunderstood as obtuse or stubborn, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Let's delve into the true nature of these humble beasts and debunk some myths along the way. First off, donkeys are surprisingly intelligent, with cognitive abilities similar to those of dogs and dolphins. They possess an exceptional memory, capable of recognizing areas and other animals they've interacted with, even after years of separation. This intelligence, however, is often mistaken for stubbornness. When a donkey refuses to move or carry a load, it's not out of obstinacy. It's because they have a highly developed sense of self-preservation. A donkey will not do something it perceives as dangerous, no matter how much you coax it. Secondly, donkeys are incredibly sensitive creatures, both emotionally and physically. They form profound bonds with other donkeys and even other species. They mourn the loss of these companions deeply, showing us that they experience a range of emotions just like we do. Physically, they're sensitive to changes in their environment and diet, making them excellent indicators of ecological shifts. Moreover, donkeys are uniquely capable and adaptable. They can carry loads over rough terrains, withstand harsh climates, and survive on sparse vegetation. These traits make them invaluable in both rural and urban economies. From farming and transportation to tourism, donkeys contribute significantly to the livelihoods of millions around the globe. Yet, despite their intelligence, sensitivity, and invaluable contribution, donkeys are often underrated and ill-treated. They are burdened with excessive loads, worked to exhaustion, and in some cases, even starved and beaten. This treatment is not just cruel, it's also a severe underestimation of their worth and potential. So why do we continue to underestimate these noble creatures? Perhaps it's time we take a closer look, appreciate their unique qualities, and treat them with the respect and kindness they so rightly deserve. After all, they're not just beasts of burden. They're intelligent, sensitive beings who play a crucial role in our world. It's time we reevaluate our relationship with these beasts of burden. The donkey, a creature often seen as symbolic of patience and perseverance, is more than just a living tool. It's a sentient being with feelings, with a capacity for joy and suffering. Yet, in many parts of the world, these noble animals are burdened with weights far beyond their capacity, treated not as living creatures, but as unfeeling machines. This, my friends, is an injustice that needs to be addressed. We live in a world that's rapidly evolving, a world that's becoming increasingly sensitive to the rights of all living beings. Animal rights have become a topic of global discussion. From the rights of pets to the rights of wildlife, we're slowly but surely recognizing the inherent value of each and every creature. So why should our treatment of working animals be any different? Donkeys, like all animals, deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. They deserve to have their needs met, to be free from unnecessary suffering. It's not just about ethics, it's about compassion. It's about understanding that these creatures have a right to a life free from undue hardship. Societal attitudes need to shift. We need to move away from seeing these animals as mere commodities and begin to see them as the sentient beings they truly are. Laws need to change to offer better protection for these hardworking animals. But laws and attitudes alone aren't enough. We also need to educate, to spread awareness about the plight of these animals, to show people that there's a better way. Change is never easy. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a willingness to challenge the status quo. But it's a change that's necessary, a change that's long overdue. The donkey, often called a duffer, is far from the unintelligent creature it's made out to be. It's a creature of resilience, a creature of strength, a creature that deserves our respect and our compassion. The question is, are we ready to lighten their load? Scene script. Change is possible, and it begins with us. As we move forward, we must recognize that our actions, no matter how small, can make a significant impact. The plight of donkeys can be improved, and it starts with each one of us. We can all contribute to their well-being and ensure they are treated with the respect and care they deserve. Animal welfare organizations are doing commendable work, rescuing and rehabilitating donkeys in distress. They provide medical care, shelter, and love to these hardworking animals. Supporting these organizations, whether through donations or volunteer work, can make a tangible difference in the lives of countless donkeys. Responsible tourism is another avenue through which we can affect change. Opting for animal-friendly activities and avoiding those that exploit these creatures for entertainment is a powerful way to vote with our wallets. By choosing to engage in such responsible practices, we send a clear message to businesses that the welfare of animals is a priority for us. Education plays a crucial role in shaping attitudes towards animals. By fostering a culture of empathy and understanding, we can dispel harmful misconceptions and stereotypes. Despite their reputation as duffers, donkeys are intelligent, sensitive creatures. Educational programs in schools and community centers can help to shift perceptions and encourage more humane treatment of these animals. Lastly, we can use our voices to advocate for better laws and regulations to protect donkeys and other working animals. Lobbying for stricter enforcement and harsher penalties for animal abuse can deter potential offenders and ensure justice for these creatures. In conclusion, the way forward is clear. We need to stand up for these gentle, hardworking beings and give them the love, respect, and care they deserve. It's not just about easing their burden. It's about recognizing their value and their right to a dignified life. because every creature deserves a life of dignity, even the humble donkey.